So you know what happened? I was supposed to take the train from the village in Switzerland I'm staying in to the other village. And I started filming a video and then walking, and then I missed the train. And then I'm like, it's a nice day, I'll just keep walking. And since I'm walking, I'm like, I'm kind of lonely. Why don't I film some videos for my ENFPs? Connect with you, you know? So here we are, and you're gonna hear something mentioned in this video that you probably never thought you'd hear me talk about, which is Taylor Swift. So I have this study that I love bringing up. I do not remember the author's name at the moment. It is in my book, The ENFP Calling. I explained it in more detail. But essentially it was a study on luck. And I have another video on it I'll link to here, but they asked people whether they think they are lucky or unlucky. And then they get people's answers. And then they have them do a test where they have to read through a newspaper and count the amount of images in the newspaper. And here's the interesting thing that happens. People who identified themselves as lucky tended to complete this problem in a couple of seconds. People who identified themselves as unlucky tended to take like a minute or something. And why was this? Well, it turns out in two different places, including like the second page of the newspaper, there was a big image that said, "Stop counting. There are 42 images in this paper. Go get your money. The study's done." The people who identified as unlucky somehow didn't see this. People who identified as lucky saw it and finished early, got the rest of their day free. So I have this video on this, and I saw a comment on it recently, and total respect for the gentleman who commented and everything else with it. But his comment was, "I wish I could consider myself lucky, but I've owned 2 homes and I've had 3 house fires, and I'm overqualified for every job." And I think he's missing the point of the whole study. It's that, oh, and here's where Taylor Swift comes along. So I don't think I'm a Swiftie, although I don't think I fully know what a Swiftie is, but I assume it's someone who likes Taylor Swift. But I've got listening to one of her songs. It showed up on my title recommended playlist. Most mornings when I'm in Prague, I do a run in the morning and do a sauna. And I have these Bluetooth speakers in the sauna. And I love to crank music and sing along. Celine Dion is top of my list right now. And so Tidal suggested this song, Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift. And there's a lyric in it that I just love, and it says, "I'll stare directly into the sun, but not the mirror." And there's something about that definitely kind of stuck with me, right? And the importance of self-reflection. You can be adventurous, you can take on challenges, you can do all this stuff, but will you look in the mirror, you know, look deep in yourself? And the gentleman who commented on this video about luck is missing the core part of the study. The study is saying that people who are generally unlucky, who see themselves as unlucky, probably have something in their behavior that is causing them to be unlucky. Maybe it's a blind spot, maybe it's something more. That's not, my place to analyze now. If your last 5 partners have been toxic people, that's not a coin flip. That's not random chance. You've had 3 fires in 2 houses? That's not random. Now, I'm not saying that's your fault. I'm not saying you should feel ashamed. You might have really strong ADHD. You might have some genetic thing. You might be colorblind, so you don't notice that you leave the stove on or something, right? But it's not random. By the way, check out this view. Absolutely gorgeous. So it's not random. And one of the things that we need to do is step back and objectively look at our circumstances and say, what might I be creating here? What might I be responsible for going on here? I have this INTJ friend who is not coaching as full-time as I am, but does coaching. And he takes this very realistic approach where he looks at people's life and just says, hey, like, show me your life and I'll show you, what you're doing, right? Because you've created this. And there's some truth to that, where we need to look at our lives and find the areas of personal responsibility. And then we can work on it. It can be like, hey, if I keep getting in these situations, why am I doing that? And then deal with it, right? Maybe whatever the changes you have to make, you can then work on it. But when we blame, I think believing that you're lucky, believing in good luck, is kind of a positive thing. It gives you a little edge in life, like, hey, I'm a lucky person. And, why not? It gives you an optimism and a positive thing. But thinking of yourself as unlucky, I think, is a pretty dangerous belief system, because if you think of yourself as unlucky, that means a few things. First, you have kind of a pessimistic view on life, and that sucks. And, oh, look at these ducks, they're having... So, all right, does not look as good in the video. So if you think of yourself as unlucky, then you've got a bit of a negative view on life, but it's also that you're deflecting the responsibility. Why have you been in 45 car crashes? I'm just unlucky, man. Nothing to do with the fact that I always text, TikTok, and Instagram while I'm driving. I'm just unlucky, right? You're deflecting the cause of your situation. Whereas seeing yourself as lucky, maybe you're not giving yourself enough credit, but that's probably a good thing. It's maybe good to be a little grateful and feel lucky rather than being like, I'm the best. I deserve all this. The flip side is not a really healthy thing. So this video is not to, call out any one individual or feel bad about whatever, but it's the importance of us looking in the mirror and taking responsibility for whatever our situation is. And then doing so is awesome because it empowers us to make a change. Once you have responsibility for your situation, you can change it. If you're in a tricky situation or a string of bad relationships or financial hardship because you're not lucky, there's not a lot you can do about that. Just like, okay, you can go to some witch doctors, try some shaman stuff, little voodoo. But at the end of the day, once you've blown through that last money you had on a voodoo doctor and you realize that, oh, this hasn't fixed anything, you're going to be in a worse situation than you were before. But if you realize that, like, hey, maybe I have these patterns. Hey, maybe there's something about toxic people that attracts me because I like the little thrill or the excitement. Maybe there's whatever. You figured that out. Well, now you're really empowered. You can take responsibility and make a change. Not wallow in shame, not blame yourself, no, none of that. But you can just, from an empowered position, make a change. And that's ultimately why I will always believe that I either have good luck or neutral luck, because it's going to create the circumstances for me to have the best situation. Oh my God, this is beautiful here. I'm still not going to move to Switzerland and pay like 40 euros for a dinner, but I do enjoy the visit. Very nice place. If you are new to the channel, my name is Dan. I film videos primarily for ENFPs on an interesting schedule. I filmed 4 today, none the last 5 weeks before, but I was finishing some projects, okay, maybe. But basically, I release videos when I think I have something important to say. But if you're new here, the advantage of, I think I have about 400 videos in the back catalog. And because they are not about news or politics or current events, they are just as relevant today as they were when I filmed them. So you've got at least a month of binge watching before you run out and worry about why I haven't posted a new video. So subscribe to the channel, check out the back catalog of videos for ENFPs. And if you ever want to go further, you can head over to my website, dreamsaroundtheworld.com, and go deeper. I have some more articles, free coaching, free resources, coaching, and things like this available as well. Have an awesome day and see you soon.